Is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We are here for Thursday's 7-game main slate. Starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, runs all the way out to 10 p.m. here again. Full slate of games for everybody. We're currently recording late on Wednesday evening here, so any news and updates that come through, we may or may not have, depending on the teams that are going to be involved. But James, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Interesting slate here. Bangers, some bangers. Minnesota, Indiana, two playoff teams. Miami, Dallas, two playoff teams.
Boston, Denver,
Boston, Denver.
preview.
Yeah, I mean, that was already probably the best game of the year. The game in Boston earlier this year. Now this game being played in Denver. So there's some good games, some teams on back-to-backs. Let's see. Kings, Bulls, Warriors, three teams on back-to-back. So we already also have a bunch of players ruled out, notably Victor Wembanyama already ruled out. Devin Booker, we know. Karl-Anthony Towns has already been ruled out. So the Ant-Man with the team to himself. Tyler Hero ruled out. Cam Thomas ruled out. Oh, look, Cam Johnson out. They tried to play him after 37 minutes on the front end of a back-to-back, and then
surprisingly, it didn't work out too well for them there.
Surprisingly, yes. Ben Mathurin already out. Like, there's a bunch of injury news that we already have. Jaylen Brown on the injury report again.
Yeah.
So there's we already got a bunch of news. Obviously, there's going to probably be more because it's the NBA, but fun looking slate.
Agreed with you 100% here. You mentioned the matchups, game total wise. 238 is our slate high there. We got 232 as well on this one. So should be fun. After some of these games have gone lower scoring last few nights here, we got maybe some back-to-back high game totals to at least take a look at. When we do break down this slate, though, let's just jump into it. Point guard position, Lucas 12-2. Yeah, he's questionable. Probable. He was questionable the other day. 72 fantasy points. As you mentioned, it was like a fake questionable tag. Well, home against Miami at 12-2. Steph Curry at 9K. Halliburton now under 9K at $8,800. De'Aaron Fox here on a back-to-back at 85. Quickly up to 84. Kobe White on a back-to-back at 8K.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to fade Luka right now. I think that's just pretty set in stone. 5 straight games, 70 plus. He's gone over 70 in 6 of his last 7 overall. So really hard not to play Luka. 36 plus minutes in every game in recent memory. No thanks on Curry on the back-to-back. I know it's a great spot for three-point shooters, but I just don't know what the minutes are going to be on the second leg of a back-to-back with like pretty much a healthy team. Halliburton, was really good. You said it in that really great matchup. All he needed to do was make shots. He made shots. I mean, he didn't make threes, but he made it the rest of his shots.
Yeah.
Just a brutal matchup against Minnesota. But I mean, he's too cheap. So if you want to play Halliburton in a tournament at 8,800, like whether or not it's a bad spot, it's great leverage because it's just simply too cheap if he's going to do what he did last game. Kyrie is fine as usual. De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is in an amazing spot. He's averaging 60 fantasy points per game against San Antonio in 2 games this year. 35 and a half actual. I mean, the only reason the Spurs defense has been what it's been is because Wemby, right? Like they've been one of the better defenses in the league since.
Yeah, he's getting 10 blocks and steals every game.
Yeah, I mean, since they basically shifted him to center. But it's just like him being the person he is, right? Like nobody goes anywhere. Like even on shots where he doesn't block, how many possessions does he just alter? Right? Because he's just
from the free throw line to the rim, basically your contended shot. So
right. So like none of that for De'Aaron Fox. So Swipe is gonna be getting to the rim even on the second leg of a back-to-back. I don't mind the quickly price. I don't know if I'm like all the way there, but it's
the rebounds have really been nice. The assists obviously have been there. And like we talk about it, like you're going to get a guard that's going to rebound like he is and giving out assists. The scoring doesn't always have to be there to like pay off the pricing, but when it does, you get 48, 40, 53, 39.
Right.
So I'm still with you. Obviously 84 now, 5x is 42 points. So there, but Phoenix is not a good defensive team. So
no,
it's possible they quickly can just attack and get that production there.
Yes, he definitely can. And then Kobe White, John, having another monster first half, third straight game in which he's not missing any shots. Probably can do that again.
Back to back on a road, I always worry like slightly, but
yeah, that's fair. And the Bulls suck.
So they're not great. Under 8K, Jamal Murray 77 against Boston. He had a big game against Boston in Boston. That part of that game you were mentioning. Cade Cunningham against Brooklyn, $7,600. Devin Vassell, 73 in that group. Bradley Beal is $6,900. Where else are you kind of targeting the mid tier? Anyone stand out to you more than the other?
Yeah, I mean, no idea why Cade's 7,600. Don't understand that.
One down game, all of a sudden there he is.
Yeah, 76 for Cade is just simply too cheap. Devin Vassell 73 is incredibly interesting. No Wemby, price down like $400.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what do we think of Vassell? Like, what do we think of Vassell with, he played 40 minutes, right, against Houston. He played 37, 38, 39. Pop doesn't care anymore. This is new for us, right? Like, Pop, I mean, they're more competitive, obviously. Dude, they beat OKC and Indiana in back-to-back games. Like, those are very good wins for the Spurs, considering how bad they've been this year. Again, no Wemby. What's your interest level in Vassell, 73? I mean, that's, again, no Wemby.
Yeah, I'm all in. Again, Sacramento's not a great defensive team. We've seen them blow leads over and over again, right? They give up a lot of points, especially to guards. And if Vassell's going to be playing all of these minutes, the shots are going to be there. Another one that can fill the stat sheet out. So I have no problems. Like you mentioned, they paid him for a reason, and now he's producing. So I'm 100% with you there at the $7,300 price tag. I'm liking that one a lot. Dennis Schroeder at 61, something I'm more than happy to go back to if everybody's going to be out of their lineup again. You already mentioned no Cam Johnson. Do we have Thomas and Simmons updates yet?
Out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, Schroeder's going to be good here. Going to be taking plenty of shots at $6,100. So, sign me up for that exposure. 5K tier. What about you? Anybody standing out?
Trey Jones, rather. The minutes have kind of were weird in the Houston game. GPPs for him. Conley coming off a really, really good game. 2 of his last 3 has been really good. I'd be a little interested in Conley. No Karl Anthony Towns. I think Conley could be someone that does look for a shot a little bit more without Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else really.
Yeah, not unless there's any sort of injury or rule outs. Kind of in agreement with you there. Shooting guard position, Anthony Edwards is $8,800. I guess we should have focused a little bit more on Bradley Beal because Devin Booker is out, but Beal
he's just limited. He's just limited. He did play 36 minutes in his limitations, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. Right. We probably should have focused a little bit more on Beal at 6,900.
He's here. We could just talk about him at shooting guard.
But Edwards and under 9K, we're always in. It's a big peso spot against Pacers.
No Towns.
For most teams.
No Towns.
And no Towns, right. So, again, feels like what could be a core play for us in this spot. Tough night for Mikal Bridges. I can't ever get that guy right. Bradley Beal mentioned is $6,900 here. Again, shorter, the player pool kind of dumps down pretty quickly here because it's 7 games, but definitely liking Anthony Edwards at $8,800.
Yeah, I think Edwards is the priority with no Towns. That's just
right. Doesn't that feel too like a mistake price here? Because they knew ahead of time that Towns wasn't going to play. Like, why did they not bump him up over 9K?
This is like a 40 ball waiting to happen for Edwards for sure.
Yeah, minimum. Mid-tier range for you. Where are you looking to go?
mean, you mentioned Beal, 69 is a good
Yeah.
play. Rozier continues to be underwhelming, but again, good spot if you want to get to Terry Rozier. It's hard to do anything when Jimmy Butler's going the way he's going. Monk on a back-to-back, he's fine. Ayo on a back-to-back, he has like 12 first half assists, crazy. Grayson Allen had a huge game the other night without Devin Booker. There's always those games where we've said like that's probably like the 5th time this year. In between, it's like big like 7+3 game, 20 games pass, does it again, 15 games pass, does it again. So if you want to try to guess when that's going to happen, you can. Same thing with Duncan Robinson. He's been really, really good. Why play Rozier when you could just play the better Terry Rozier?
The better shooter,
The better, better playmaker right now,
Yeah.
better player right now, for cheaper. Duncan Robinson's starting too, so love Duncan Robinson. And then you start dipping into like this. Dude, I have been constantly saying that KCP has been too cheap. I know he's 49 and this is like not as cheap as he's been, but he's not missing shots and he's being like that really good peripheral KCP that we once saw a long time ago. I'm okay getting to someone like KCP, especially when you factor in when you get to this tier, it's all a bunch of guys that may play. They may get to X amount of minutes. KCP is going to play 35 plus minutes. And in this game versus Boston, I mean, he played 36 and a half the first time they played, right? That's, just to be like, oh, right. They're not gonna play the bench guys in this game because they want to win. So KCP, like, I mean, look at the list, like Grady Dick or KCP. Grady Dick's minutes are just too volatile for me.
Yeah, he played 27. He just didn't hit anything the other day.
Moody, with everyone healthy, like it's really hard to get there. Maybe like we look at someone like Neesmith or Nembhard down here because we already know Matherin's out.
Yeah.
But like the volatility there.
You think Lonnie Walker here, 30 minutes?
Yeah, the Lonnie Walker thing. Another guy though that could like throw my hands up. This emoji, what I don't know, whatever this emoji is called, that just shrug shoulders emoji.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I assume Lonnie Walker is a great play. He started for Cam Johnson in the second half. That doesn't.
They should get the shots, right? So
it doesn't always like me. Like it's not always like one for one. Like this is me. He started the second half. That means he's going to start the next game. But
the minutes should be there regardless.
The minutes should be there. Again, new coach, so we don't have to like necessarily worry about Jock Vaughn like ruining our lives in that regard.
Agreed. Any other shooting guards for you?
I guess if Minnesota just elected to go small, you could see NAW start because you can use Jaden McDaniels maybe at power forward. I think that would make sense anyway because Siakam's the opposing power forward, right? So I guess they could multiple directions they go. They can go NAW or they can probably go Kyle Anderson. That's probably their two routes. If NAW starts 4,300, I would say that's fine, a fine value. But I guess, what do you make of Ben Shepherd shooting lately, John? No Ben Matherin. Neesmith has been limited. Ben Shepherd, 27 and 22 minutes. 3 of the last 4 games, he's made 3+ threes and has had 20+ fantasy points.
Sure.
He's 3,200, no Matherin. Like, again, terrible spot, but just throwing it out there. Like, if this is the type of run that he's going to get if
he gets 20 minutes at 3,200, you got to give him a look. So
okay,
that's how I feel. And you're right, no Matherin, so I wouldn't see why he wouldn't get some playing time there. Small forward, you got Tatum with a dual positional eligibility down to $9,500 for him. I talked to Edwards. Jimmy Butler still $8,300 here. DeMar DeRozan a back-to-back up to $82. Siakam $7,500 here. Jaylen Brown $73. Bridges rounding out the 7K tier.
I was gonna cover boy Jimmy, and then I realized I cover boyed him the other day for the live stream. So
I mean, we said he was far too cheap the other day. They didn't do anything with his price. So
yeah, and like this is just, again, he's going to continue his assault on opposing teams. He's going to get to the free throw line a bunch. He's going to make a lot of really good passes that lead to assists. He's going to steal he's going to get a lot of steals. We're getting like peak form Jimmy, playoff version Jimmy. This version of Jimmy Butler is a 9K play. And you pointed it out the other night, the Indiana Dallas game, when you were just like very high on Halliburton, you were very high on Siakam. I was high on Miles Turner. He wasn't great, but like still, Siakam and Halliburton smashed in that game.
Yep.
And
they don't play defense; they play fast.
Dallas has a big issue defensively. That they have two guys that can probably outscore you, but I don't know if that can happen over.
And that's about it.
They
136 the other night, the 130 whatever it was, right? Like
120. They 120.
Yeah,
they lost by like 16 or something like that.
Yeah, 137, 120. Right? They're gonna do what they can to outscore you. They're not stopping you. So Butler. I might start lineups here. Edwards.
Agreed. Butler, hold on. I agree. I largely agree. But also, Luka and his fantasy points have been out of this world. I don't disagree in any capacity, but it's impossible. It's just impossible.
It's not impossible.
All right. Well, we're playing Ben Shepherd. Let's ride. I knew. Before you even clicked, I already knew what was going on.
Ben Shepherd, we're here. So there's a way to make this lineup work. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So those two guys there, I like them both. I have no problem plugging out.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, you're probably correct. I'm also just saying Luka has 70 in 5 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, but Anthony Edwards and Butler can go for 60
I know.
matchups, right? Like
and might score 50.
59, 56, 68 here against Chicago. Right?
He might score 50. He might score 50 actually.
Yeah. Butler gave you a 60 the other day, 55. It's doable.
You're right.
Not impossible. Not impossible. That said, 12K Luka gives you 80. You just need like 20 from a 5K guy to get the same production. So it is what it is. Mid-tier, a lot of these guys we've talked about already because the dual positional eligibility. Sohan and Keldon are 51 to 49.
They're going to need Sohan and Keldon here. We have to assume nothing really changes in the starting lineup except Zach Collins. That's an easy plug. Zach Collins starts. But this might be one of those games where Champagne's just like completely axed, where Champagne plays like 12 minutes and you just see ceiling Keldon Johnson minutes. Not that he's coming. I mean, he's coming off ceiling minutes.
He's coming off 33, was it? Yeah, 33, 34.
So and that's largely been the case for Keldon since he was benched. I'm just saying, like, they're gonna need what that was and more without Wemby. I'm trying to stall here to get us the numbers without Victor Wembanyama on the floor.
Sure.
Just quick. I know we can do that more on the live stream, but for the listener's sake, no Victor Wembanyama this year. Keldon Johnson, 25.2% usage rate, over a fantasy point per minute. He gets a 2.9% usage bump, second on the team behind Trey Jones. So Collins is your fantasy point per minute leader. Vassell second, Keldon Johnson third.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
All over a fantasy point per minute.
Yep. Both those guys should be fine. You mentioned Grady Dick already. I mean, there's no Agbaji now.
No Agbaji. Yeah, no Agbaji. No Brown. No Agbaji. No Brown. Or Agbaji's listed questionable. No Brown. Hurdle, Barnes, Agbaji questionable. If Agbaji doesn't play, Grady Dick starts, right?
Yeah, I have to assume so. I mean, he played 27 minutes, so
right. I just don't even know if they have any other active bodies. Like, who else? I think he's their last line of defense.
Jordan Nwora.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say
that. That would be the guy, right?
Yeah, probably would.
That's my guess. My guess is Jordan Nwora.
Yeah, probably.
I don't like it any more than you do.
Oh, I just realized we can do this. We can do the Luka Jimmy lineup.
We were playing Jordan Noir, right?
And you know who else here at small forward? Jalen Wilson, who played 23 minutes after Cam Johnson went down on the back-to-back against Philly. What if Jalen Wilson starts for Brooklyn? He's 3,400.
Yeah,
It's Detroit.
yeah, no doubt. I think there's some potential for it. I think you figured it out. I think we're gonna go back to the Luka. We're gonna build a lineup with Luka, Edwards, and Butler. So
we'll do stars and scrub, but can we also not do stars and scrub and just
that's fine.
Okay, we'll do both. We'll do both.
Let's go to power forward here.
Kevin
Durant at 97, obviously a guy. He's a dude.
You do not see Kevin Durant often taking that many shots unless he needs to take that many shots. He took 34. Like, I was not expecting him to take 34 shots against Toronto.
Right.
Because he's.
You don't think Toronto's going to force them into a spot where shit like that?
No, there's levels to this. I don't think it's that many shots, but I still think 9,700 is too cheap for Kevin Durant by himself.
Sure. I'm with you. I think under 10K for him is great. Again, Tatum, if there's no Brown and guys, you can go there. RJ Barrett's $8,300. Better spot for him this to go around than the Pelicans. Phoenix just isn't really a great defensive team no matter where they're at. So, I think Barrett's perfectly fine here as well. Porzingis 74. You've called it out. Like, they don't really let him play much more than he's been playing. Guy still went for 50 fantasy points in 32 minutes against Cleveland. So
he did.
Against Denver, 21-8 in that game. Didn't have a huge night, but still cheap price tag. Kelly O, we know what he can be when he gets minutes. 28 minutes, 41 fantasy points, fills out the stat sheet in the mid-tier here. Like, what's your thoughts of power forward?
My thoughts are play Kelly Olynyk at all costs. Dude, he started the fourth quarter down 30 of that game and came out and just absolutely smashed. And then suddenly it was, you look up and you're like, oh, he had 40 fantasy points again. Cool. He was clearly trending towards 30 plus minutes in that game in a competitive setting. Jakob Poeltl's just dead for the year.
Yeah, hand surgery they came out there, right?
So. There's just no stopping this train. He's over a fantasy point per minute guy, like 1.1 fantasy points per minute. I'm all in on Kelly Olynyk 68. I'm fine with Porzingis. You're right. The minutes have obviously been limited. I mean, in a competitive, very, very competitive game against Cleveland, because of Dean Wade. I was gonna get there.
They were up 30 for like the most of that game.
Okay, whatever.
But yes,
he hasn't played more than
Fournette got minutes in that game at one point. That's so But I agree with you. They haven't pushed him because the playoffs are weeks away. They're right. They need Porzingis to get there. They can't risk him. So
to be fair, John. So the last time he played 33 plus minutes or 34 plus minutes, January 19th. You know what game that was?
I don't.
That was the Denver game.
Okay.
He played 36 minutes in that game. That was the last time.
Oh yeah, I said his points. I didn't even say his minutes. So, okay.
He played. That was the last time that he has played north of.
I honestly didn't realize the Celtics have a 7.5 game lead on the East as well. So
they are. No, wait,
they're running away with it.
You did not realize that?
Dude, I knew that they were in first. I'm a Celtics fan. I knew they were in first. I didn't realize the gap that they had created for themselves, though.
After 8 straight wins of 20 plus points in a row, they were like, you know what, guys? See you later.
Yeah.
Y'all are playing.
So, anyways, Keegan 58 at home, San Antonio, right?
Yep.
Those numbers play.
That's good.
What'd Royce do? 39 minutes.
Dude, he is so good. In outside of these last 2 games, mostly because the shots. But he is really good peripherally. No steals in the last 2 games, something that he's had in 10 straight games prior to that. So I'm okay getting to Royce. He's going to continue to start. So no problem getting to him at all.
Yeah, I agree. 5K, 5,600, a little bit more expensive, but he's there. PJ Washington, dude, again, 37 minutes. 20-7 here, 39 fantasy points. This is certainly a tougher matchup for him.
Yes.
I think. What do you think about this for him?
Miami's been really good lately. Jovic, he'll get the Jovic matchup.
Well, does Jovic stay on the floor and not get ejected this time? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I hope so, because I'm probably gonna double big. I'm probably gonna play Jovic again.
Well, you're playing Jovic and Nas Reed here.
Well, I'm definitely playing Nas Reed. Right. I'm definitely playing Nas Reed. They're not going to start.
There's some good value, man. We're playing. We can make it work.
Yeah, we are.
We can make it work. DFS is down here at 5K. Keldon's 49. Fontecchio, DFS 34 fantasy points, 22 actual the other night against Miami.
Yep, and
at 4,200. Like,
I mean, dude. Yep. To be fair, Jovic was smashing in that game, 20 basically fantasy point per minute, and I told you, he played the first 13 minutes of the game, closed the first half. I think in situations where there's like a double big, he's gonna play, and they do have double big. Kevin Love's out and Tyler Hero's out. Like, they have a shrunken rotation.
Jovic is a first round pick last year. So like
Jovic is he is definitely carved out a role for this team.
And what are we saying? What have I been saying for a while now? Spoelstra gets he gets the most out of any guy on his roster.
That's why he got the most money ever.
Yeah, right. I mean, turned Caleb Martin into almost a Finals MVP there. Like
got Max Strus 60. Got Max Strus 60 million.
Dude. Max Strus was on the Celtics summer league squad. He doesn't make the team. He goes to Miami and he's a all-star. So
got Max Strus $60 million.
Dude, it's unbelievable. Jordan Nwora is there at $3,900 though. I mean, the guy played 20 minutes, 20 fantasy points.
He definitely was in the rotation. He also definitely benefited from the blowout as well. So twofold there.
I think it was just given the lack of people they have now, he might have to. Because they're not playing Chris Boucher.
No, that dream is
just not even getting, even in blowouts, he's not seeing the floor. So what did Obi do? I saw him hit a 3. Did he actually play minutes in that game? 17.
I don't think that changes with the Mathurin news. Like, he would have Neesmith, Mathurin probably both have to be out for him to.
Yeah, you need Jalen Smith probably out, right?
Yeah, and Jalen Smith. You need all three of these guys.
All right, let's go to center here. The Joker's 11-4. Sabonis on the back-to-back at 10-6. Everybody loved playing Bam the other night. Did not come through.
Yeah, I mean, dude, how's he going to come through when Jimmy is doing what Jimmy's doing?
And Duncan Robinson's doing what he's doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's just fly through this to get to 4,300 Zach Collins.
All right, $4,300 Zach Collins is here against Sacramento. 18 minutes, 18 fantasy points against Houston.
He's an elite fantasy.
Yeah, he's your obvious value plug, right?
Yeah. We're like, half these guys we're talking about are like, we're just talking about
if you build multiple lineups but if you're single entering, like, there's a pretty clear path to where you're going to go with these. I mean, Nurkic could do whatever he wanted in this matchup against Olynyk, probably, right? Like, or does this profile as a KD 5 lineup for you? Like,
yeah, dude, KD 5 for sure. The way that Kelly O handles, right? The way he handles and is on the perimeter, it's going to be hard for Nurk. But I mean, 32 minutes against Chet. Yeah. That's what Chet's out on Chet spends all his time on the perimeter, right? I mean, he cuts to the bat. Chet is constantly cutting, so if you could play 32 minutes, maybe they just deciding like, this is what we have without Booker. We don't feel as comfortable going small ball, and we're gonna play Nurk.
Yeah,
because you're right. Nurk is, if we're gonna get 30 minutes out of Yusuf Nurkic, then it's an elite play. Also, if we're gonna get 40 minutes out of Rudy Gobert for a 4th straight game, also going to be an elite play, because apparently Rudy Gobert is suddenly able to play 40 minutes a night and just do this. I mean, I'm just saying, this.
16 rebounds, 3 straight, fouled out of that game in 39 minutes against Portland.
Dude, look at every game other than the Memphis game, where, whatever that was. 5 games of 38 plus minutes.
Yeah.
Each game 42 plus fantasy points. No Karl-Anthony Towns in this spot. Seems pretty good to me.
Seems pretty good. No arguments. No arguments for me here. All right, let's build a lineup though. We're still gonna go with Collins here.
Collins for sure. Jimmy and Edwards. Well, let's do the Luka lineup second. Let's do like a.
Well, didn't we do? I thought we were trying to get the Edwards Jimmy.
Okay. Yeah. We
right.
can do this.
Because we had Shepard.
We did have.
Then we had
and then
Laura. Didn't we?
Or Kyle Anderson, dude. Kyle Anderson, Fontecchio, Keldon, Jovic.
We need another. I don't think
tier.
we can do 4K util. You got a 4K util for me?
I feel like
Jovic.
I have
Jovic.
something. It's Jovic. I feel like it's something.
Jovic.
Yeah, Jovic.
Yeah.
Yep. Jesus.
Luka, Edwards, Butler, Anderson, Collins, Shepard, Johnson, Jovic. I mean, honestly,
not terrible.
What is wrong with that lineup? What's the lowest floor is probably Shepard, right?
Ben Shepard, for sure. Ben Shepard. But if he makes shots the rate that he's been making shots, then we have no. Because he's $3,200.
Because he's $3. So
absolutely no problem if he continues to make shots.
Yeah. So that's, I might plug this lineup in. I don't see a reason why not to.
I'm with you.
What's your build me your next lineup?
I think we make a decision. 2 of the 3 guys we just spent up for.
Okay.
You want to just do fair and balanced with Edwards, Jimmy,
sure,
instead of Luka, or do you want to plug Luka?
No, let's do Luka with one of the other 2.
Luka Edwards then.
Okay.
He's playing alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Collins still.
Yeah. All right.
Probably still one of those value power forwards. Maybe Naz Reid in this lineup instead of Kyle Anderson. Maybe we do some Naz Reid.
Okay. Still gonna need a cheapie. I'm still good with Jovic here.
Yeah, I'm good with Jovic. I was thinking Fontecchio as well. Small forward, either Anderson, Simone, NAW. All those cheap small forwards.
5,500 for a guard and a util.
5,500 guard util.
Neesmith, Grady Dick, Lonnie Walker, probably right, Lonnie.
Yeah, play some Lonnie Walker.
$6,500 for a util spot. Schroeder, running back with double Brooklyn.
Sure. Yep.
Luka, Edwards, Fontecchio, Reed, Collins, Walker, Jovic, and Schroeder. Dude, I'm telling you, I like that lineup better.
I kind of like the Jimmy lineup as well.
Stars and scrubs, here we come, ladies and gentlemen.
I kind of liked it better.
I forget who's on the playbook for tomorrow. Is it you? Is it Dylan? It ain't me. All right, James on the playbook. You can check that out there. He'll have it out early for y'all. Get him in the Discord. We'll be back, of course, live at 5 p.m. Eastern time to get you all ready for this 7-game main slate. Till then, everybody, we'll talk to you later.